Who would have thought that by adding a harmless healer into the chaotic Clash Royale arena that she would tear it up and start wrecking opponents? To build off my most recent healer origin stories, here is the brand new Battle Healer's origin story.
Hey, what's up everyone? I am Empire of Clash. Before I tell more about me, I want to say thank you to World of Clash aka Michael for having me on his channel. And now something about me. Well, my real name is Manjeet. I'm from India and I've been making origin stories for Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars and recently on PUBG, all in Hindi for over a year now on my channel. And we both have been planning and working on this collab for a while now. And Michael worked really hard on this story. But not taking much of your time, here is the story, hope you will enjoy.
For many years, the healer has been beloved by her village and fellow troops. I mean, who wouldn't like her? All she would do is help keep them alive during battles and help heal them up after battles. Being the only healer in the village, she always had a lot of work to do, but normally she didn't mind, because she was just that type of person who loved to help out others. But sometime recently, things in the village really started to pick up. Her army must have been getting a lot worse lately because she had to do almost twice as much healing as usual. And so she was very overworked and was getting very tired. She was so exhausted that she began doing a not so great job of healing other troops. She was so bad that she accidentally turned some troops into trees and random buildings. And seeing as the healer was having a hard time, the wizard decided to brew up some heal spells and start helping out. This gave the healer a bit of a break. However, while the troops were using the heal spells instead of the healer, the troops started to like using the spells a lot more than waiting in the super long lines to see the healer after every battle. This potion just went down easier and was way more convenient for them, and so they decided to like that better. They liked the wizard's healing potion so much more, and the village chief even started using her less in battles because the heal spells were just better and then they saved more space in the army camps. Not to mention, the village chief also started using her less in battles since he began thinking that the healer was just too fragile to be used in battle. The healer felt betrayed, because she had spent literally all of her time healing up the other troops, and as soon as they finally found some alternative to her, they just completely abandoned her like that. As if everything she's done for them meant nothing. She felt like none of them even liked her, and were literally just using her for her healing abilities. There were still, however, some troops who continued to use her abilities and were genuinely thankful for her. So for that reason, she still stuck around the village for many years after. However, during one special event, the Ice Wizard came to visit the Clash of Clans village for a little bit. During that time, he spent a lot of time with the healer, because he was being used a lot in battles and obviously getting injured during them. And so he would see the healer to heal his wounds after battles. The healer got to talk a lot with the Ice Wizard, and he would tell her all these stories about what it was like at the Clash Royale arenas. They ended up spending so much time together that they became really good friends. And once the Ice Wizard's time was done at the Clash of Clans village, he invited the healer back to the Clash Royale arena with him to see what it was all about. And since the healer didn't have much to do at the village, she decided to go along. And since the Ice Wizard was a legendary card, the king especially liked him and even offered to let the healer try out a single battle. The healer was really excited to finally get back into some battles, so the king gave her a set of princess armor to help protect her out there, and then she headed out onto the battlefield with no weapon. But as soon as she got out there, she started doing what healers do best: healing. At first it wasn't bad because she was healing her own team's troops, but as the battle progressed, she started to heal the enemy's troops too. The king was watching all of this unfold and couldn't believe what he was seeing. The healer just stood there on her side of the bridge, healing the enemy troops as they came in and attacked the king's tower. And thanks to the help of the healer, she helped keep the enemy troops alive just long enough for them to take out the king's tower. After watching this unfold, the king was absolutely furious. He went up to the healer and started to tear her apart and almost verbally assault her. He was yelling in her face, saying things like, "You're useless, you don't deserve to be here, and you will never be a troop in this arena." After hearing all of this from the king, the healer felt a mixture of emotions, ranging from upset and sad all the way to furious and raging with anger. In fact, she was so mad that the next battle, she stormed out onto the battlefield, picked up a sword from a fallen knight, and started to float towards the king that just said all those mean things to her. As she got closer, he kept shooting her with his cannon, but as she was floating closer, she began to self-heal. Turns out some troops, when they get mad, they just turn purple and start to rage, and attack quicker and faster and harder. But the healer was a special case, because when she got mad, she would start to radiate some healing energy, instead of rage with anger. Not only would she heal herself, but as soon as she took a swing at the king's tower, a wave of healing washed over herself and any troops near her. and this repeated every swing she took, where the anger would overwhelm her and the healing would just come out whenever she took a swing. That being said, she didn't do a whole lot of damage to the King's Tower when she did attack, for the obvious reason that she never used a sword before and was quite weak. But thanks to her healing, she was able to stay there and attack the King's Tower for long enough that she took it all down, all by herself. After taking out the King's Tower, the king quickly apologized and said that he was wrong and he would be honored to have her on her team, if she could just do that special healing stuff all the time. And so during the next few days, the healer accepted and she trained herself to get herself to the point where she was raging with anger again, so that she could repeat the healing effects that she just did. And after a decent amount of practice, she was able to cue the healing effect on command, where whenever she wasn't attacking, she would just focus and start to self-heal. And she would still be able to release that heal effect whenever she attacked, as it would just overwhelm her and then spread out in a circle around her. And ever since then, she has been absolutely killing it in the arena, and beloved by all troops, might I add, who just hide themselves behind her as she soaks up all the damage and heals them in the process. I mean, what more could you ask for from a troop? And anyways, that there is the story of how the battle healer came into the world of Clash.